Good morning. Well, the outcome at the races in Vegas were that Logano, and they worked on gas mileage, and they did not have the fastest car, but probably in the top 10. But through their management, they ended up in first place. The fastest car, I think, ended up second, and they were coming on strong at the finish. But the Logano is in the final, so the final in Phoenix. We'll be flying over for that, and I've got friends over in Phoenix, so I'll be wanting to get over there, not only for the racing but to see them. And anyway, Penske's got to be a happy camper, and the team is happy. The guy who came in second is not happy, so he's going to have to work. So Logano has clinched a spot. I don't know whether Blaney is still in it or not. And we got to watching football and baseball, so I didn't quite figure out everything that took place in Las Vegas. So here we are in front of you. You see over here is Anchorage and Ted Stevens Airport. He was a governor, I believe. And we're not going there. We're not going to Valdez or Valdez. I think that's where the pipeline goes, right there. And over here, what happened was we were down here at Mud Bay, and that's right about in there. And right here is Gustavus, which is down here at the end. So we flew up here in the TBM, retracing a flight that Eric took with his son, and his son worked for this guy here where he was feeding and making sure that the workforce of maybe up to 500 people, I forget how many people, but he's a chef and very, very good at handling large work crews. Who also worked at the South Pole in his younger days, and so we're just recalling a little flight they made for some fishing up here at Mud Bay. Mud Bay is right down to the south here of Skagway. So when I got close, I remembered Skagway. Skagway has to do with the Yukon Territory discovery of gold up near Dawson City, which is it's at least 300. It's 300 some miles to the north of in Yukon Territory. So it was treacherous trying to get from here up to Dawson City. And I'll zoom in on it here. Here's Dawson City way over here. So we're going up here, then we're kind of going to follow the Yukon River, and the Yukon River kind of goes out to the west and then swings back. So the direct route will follow the river. We'll probably follow the river. This area here, you see that this is where fires took place up in there. Is what I believe that brownish area is. That's a satellite photo showing that. So we're heading for Dawson City, where gold was discovered in 1897. Probably 1% of they called them Stampeders that landed in Skagway and set out with their horses and whatever on foot. And at first they weren't equipped at all. Finally, the Canadian government required them to have a minimum amount. So before they'd let them strike out, that's a good word, venture out to head for Dawson City, they had requirements before they let them get out on the trail and starve to death or get overcome by exposure. Yeah, it was something else. There is a White Pass Yukon Railroad that runs between Yukon and up to, I believe, about Carmack, maybe just to White Horse, and the White Pass was just south of there. It was the highest point that they had to go over. It was really rough going. So let's get going. So we gotta click the fly. We're using the F-15 for this adventure. That could be a 182. We talked about the 180. The 180 didn't have a nose wheel like that fella has. That probably has, maybe a 235 horse engine
Papa
or
Alpha
more,
Golf Yankee
240.
Traffic Strike 391, taking off runway 2 departure to the north.
So we go ahead and click ready to fly. We should be at Skagway. Yeah, we're Skagway, and I think we're heading directly north here, 020. So we're heading right up the way they go. We just have to change the time to about noon. We'll get it. Yeah, let's see here. We get it right about there, so we get some good resolution. And we'll go outside and we'll look backwards and see. Yeah, so this is when we go back, as we take off, we'll look back down there and we'll be looking back down toward Mud Bay. So here we go, take the brakes off, full power. Let's get going. Back at yeah, just skipped a little bit. Get the wheels up, get the flaps up, climb on out of there. And we'll look back down and make a little jog here so we can look down the fjord, if they call it that, fjord. And that is the little town of Skagway. So possibly we can see all the way down to Mud Bay right behind us there. Yeah, looks like we're looking right down to Haynes and Mud Bay right there. Okay, so we're climbing out here. I believe we want to go to the right just a little bit. Let's make sure we got everything up. That's a little better. Yeah, we'll look back over this way. So, and I think right there it splits, and we can swing around to the right a little bit. Don't want to get too far off our course. Don't want to get too far off the course. And we're seeing our that's enough. And let's look back. Yeah, so I think we want to be over to this side a little bit. Yeah, so we want to go to the right a little bit. And let's see what this little town is. Yeah, so that's Whitehorse. So we want to go, let's go by Whitehorse. And we'll get that back. And we'll swing by Whitehorse. And let's see where this goes, right here. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll go, that goes up, and there's a lake up there by Whitehorse. So they probably were over toward the right there. And right in here, they might have gone to the left side of that area right in there. And again, I just drew the course direct direct to, it's called Carmax. And then we out of Carmax, we're at the top of a lake, which is part of the Yukon River, and they actually had a steamer on there. I don't know whether they ran. Of course, they couldn't run a steamer in the, but they had some boats running, so they probably had some steamers running along there. Let's see how we're doing here. So this is Whitehorse. So that's we do want to go by Whitehorse. That's where the train goes. So let's go by Whitehorse. It looks like we're coming up on it right up here. So you see how they could have gone around if they had more water over this way. They probably went around to that side, getting up here to Whitehorse. And again, the railroad I believe it goes around to the right. The Yukon White Pass Railroad does that, and then just north of here we'll see a lake, and the lake is also part of the Yukon River. So we'll get around here, and we'll just shoot right up here. Go right over that area. So pretty much they came up through here. Look at the subdivisions along in here. And the airport. You see the airport? Right on top of it. Okay, right here. It's right in front of us. That's, again, we'll click on that. It's not coming up, but that's Whitehorse. And so then we're going to get back on trail. Here's that lake. This is the Yukon River right here. And so we'll swing out to the right a little bit, kind of think about they had some steamboats that were running up and down. There's another airport that we went over. So we won't go right over the lake, but Carmax is at the north end of this lake, which is also the Yukon River. And then the computer's kind of gone crazy right in here with the with the so-called handcrafting. Anyway, one more month and I'll have my update after 4 years with the Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are and the good and the bad and the ugly of that. Let's look back. See this looks pretty good back in here, but this part is how this looked back in 2000. This is the way computers showed the terrain back in 2000. So again, we're up here to the north end, and the Yukon River is going to make a kind of a left turn. Let's go on up to Carmax because it goes right through there, and then we'll make a dog leg to the left, heading for Dawson City, where the gold was discovered. And this area is probably an area where there was a forest fire in here. So we'll see a few areas like that as we go along. So then going, how many people actually made it up to Dawson City? And it wasn't right at Dawson City. It was on a river or a creek that was off of that area. Forget the creek's name, Bear Creek, something like that. And you can kind of see how this is a lower area. So possibly they didn't stick with the river. The river's might be running right there. Comes off the end of the lake, might run over to the right there, and then, and then come back, and it'll run across our nose right at Carmack's right here. We'll click on that. Yukon territory. And let's see how we're doing on the chart. I didn't mean to get rid of the chart. Probably right on course. Yeah, there we go. And then luckily, I took a while to figure out. This is the second time I've come up here. But CYDA is actually Dawson City, so I could just click on that to be sure. And then once we get to Carmack's, we just head over to the left. We could follow the river. The river is easy to see from there. Here's another area that got burned. I'm pretty sure of that. And here's maybe the Yukon River coming across, but also the Stewart River comes across and hits into the Yukon River right about Carmack's. A little hard to figure. I need a river chart. Okay, and now we can start swinging to the left. We'll look down and see if we see the airport. Coming right up, but this isn't show. Oh yeah, there's the airport right there. Right down right there. Going right over the airport. Again, the computer hasn't done a great job on. So let's look at see where. So we're over in the corner there. So we want to head. Let's see how our nose is. We're almost on course. A little more to the left, and the river goes a little further to the left. So we are following, at this point, we are following the Yukon River. If we look back, we might see where the Stewart River comes in right there. Yeah, not sure about that. But I did a run on the Stewart River. A guy was canoeing from the next territory over, and he actually the canoe tipped over. You know, you got all of your supplies in there, your fishing gear and all that kind of stuff. And of course you have it in packs that float, but the river is running, and so if it tips over, your food and stuff can float away. So you have to be really smart. Yeah, he did YouTubes. I can't remember the name of the YouTube, but I think the Stewart River Look for YouTubes on the Stewart River. There's another river that runs into the Stewart River that he started on. Way up in a mountain stream. All downhill, but there was some white water that he had to deal with. Okay, we're heading for, so you can see kind of how the Yukon River goes off to the left, but it comes back in right where we're heading. Right up here on the chart over here on the left. Oop, that isn't it. Let's see. Yeah, CYDA. That's it. Yeah, it's not coming up. So I've learned again. So you go in on it. There we go, Dawson. And then we go back out. So we get the airplane heading at it. So it is CYDA. C stands for Canada. And in the U.S., everything starts with a K in the U.S. Okay, and we'll look over at the burned out area, and we'll look over this way to see where the river starts coming back in. So that they went on over, follow the river. There, the river goes right over that way, and it comes back. We're kind of bouncing around, but looks like we're going to get into a little better handcrafting by the computer to look a little more realistic. And again, in November, which is next month, of course, we will be. We can start letting down. We'll be seeing this looking even more realistic. It's good for me. I think I'm flying real airplanes. It's here's some air. I should look closely about that. I forget what river that is. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that's the Stewart River. Now, I think we passed the Stewart River a long time ago. That may be the Yukon River going across there. You can't trust anything I say. We're getting close. We can go a little more to the right. Yeah, the Stewart River was down here at Carmack's, right down here. So that can't be the Stewart River. Lots of rivers up here. So we'll see. Probably right over there is maybe where the Dawson City is. Yeah, I see a Bear Creek on my Apple, and we'll go in. $17,000 dropping down. No, I don't think that's Dawson City yet. 10,000. Just another creek. Looks like a little attempt to show some of the fall dusting going on. A little snow. Getting close. Getting close. And we'll just go right in, straight in this way, because I believe that'll be. You'd think it'd be uphill, but we probably should land back at. Here we go. Huh. Wow. Wow. Look at, oop, just gotta relax a little. So that's Dawson. Oh, it's going to be right back in there. But look at all the dredging that went on right in there. We got to come back on the power, and I put the air brake up. Yeah, look at all the dredging that took place in there. They outlawed that at the turn of the century. So that shows that they were looking at gold there. So right behind us, there's an airport right down there, right behind us. Oh, I thought I put the speed brake up, but I didn't. So we'll look over at the city right here. Bear Creek probably goes right in there. It's Bear Creek, or this might be Bear Creek. Of course, they'd search for gold along Bear Creek, so that might be Bear Creek right there. The airport's right there. Dawson City is right here, right on the Yukon River. So we don't need the chart anymore, and we can look out at the Dawson City as we come down, and the Yukon River heading off to the west, and it heads on over, goes right by. Why do I have Fairbanks? Fairbanks is up to the north. So anyway, we're going to come on around. That's interesting. I didn't notice the tailings before. All that dredging that took place. When you go up east of Sacramento, northeast of Sacramento, you see the same thing. Okay, we put the gear down, and we put the flaps down. We get rid of the air brakes, and we head back to the airport. Yeah, that's what dredging does. So they outlawed that back at the turn of the century, back in the early 1900s. And we get on the back here. We'll look back toward Dawson City. And see if we can find the airport coming around the bend. Got flaps, got wheels, and a little power. We want to gotta find the airport again. Let's get up here where we can see out a little better. It might be it off to the left there. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, that's where it is. That's where it is. Right there. Look at all the tailings right there. Get my feet ready to steer. Alright. Get the air brake up, get the real brakes on. See if we can get this thing stopped. Almost. Almost. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, they're waiting for us. Dawson City. Flaps up. That should be good. That should be pretty good. Let's see what he looks like. We can't see him. We'll see him from the outside. Okay. Get the engines off. Yeah, it was a pretty good run. I had to do it twice. And canopy open. Go outside. I can see still directing us in. Still directing us in. Okay. Turn the lights out. There we go. And we'll go around behind her. And we're looking into the sun. Now we'll look over this way. There we go. Yeah. It's pretty good looking down there. Looking back toward Dawson City. Yeah, that's good enough. There we go. Thanks for riding along. And we'll head for Bear Creek and pan for gold on Bear Creek. See if we can strike it rich. Thanks for riding along. Tally-ho.